Timeout lovers and sports lovers, and welcome to another episode of Timeout Sports, a show anybody can watch about sports, stats, facts, and everything in between, from a fan point of view. I'm your host Charlie, so let's go get this ball rolling. Timeout. For the three, let's talk about some sports. Playoffs edition. How did I miss that? Oh man, fellow timeout lovers and sports lovers, wow, did we have some insane games that went down yesterday on Throwdown Tuesday. So, without further ado, timeout. It's sports time. We begin this absolutely gorgeous afternoon with the NHL playoffs with the Eastern Conference first round. Woo-hoo! Game 3 of the Penguins versus the New York Rangers. Oh man, fellow timeout lovers, was this an intense and insane game, as the Rangers hosted the Penguins for an all-out war. In the first period, there were no goals. But in the second period, it was a back and forth battle as the Rangers' Rick Nash gets a goal in for New York. But the Penguins come back, bobsledding and tumbling into goal after goal as superstar of the Penguins, Sidney Crosby, steps up and gets a goal in for the Pits. In the third period, it was all about the Penguins as Matt Kulin gets a goal in for the Birds. And then Chris Letang mirrors that with the last goal in to win the game, with a victory of 3-1. Way to go, Penguins. The studs on the ice was Cullen of the Penguins center got 1 goal. Nash of the Rangers left wing got 1 goal, and Murray of the Penguins guard saved 16 shots. On to the next game, we have the Red Wings versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, as it was in Game 4's Eastern Conference in the first round. In the first period, we had Lightning's own Nikita Kurvichov got a power play and got a goal in for the Lightning. In the second period, it was a back and forth battle as Nikita Kurvichov power play gets another goal in for the Lightning. And now the Red Wings are trying to come back, and they were pushing and shoving as Darren Helm gets a goal in for Detroit. And then Gustav Nyquist mirrors it in with another goal in for the Red Wings. But in the third period, it's true what they say, fellow timeout lovers, Lightning does strike twice, as Andre Palat power play gets a last goal in for the Lightning to win the game 3-2. The studs on the ice was Kurvichov of the Lightning. Right wing got not 1 but 2 goals. Jolwin of the Lightning. Left wing was Mr. Assist all night with not 1, not 2, but 3 assists. And Sheehan of the Red Wings center got 1 assist. On to the next game. Oh man, did we have an arch rivalry nail biter going on as we had the Blackhawks versus the St. Louis Blues. In the first period, St. Louis was not singing the blues, as Vladimir Tarasenko gets a goal in for the Blues. In the second period, it was a back and forth battle as my Hawks own Andrew Shaw gets a goal in for Chi-Town with an insane, fellow timeout lovers, shot off the jersey of Andrew Shaw, making it in. Then Duncan Keith, super stud of Chicago, gets a power play and a goal in for Chi-Town. But Chicago fans are high-fiving each other and we're rooting and jumping up and down. But then Vladimir Tarasenko, the guy who got the first goal in the first period, gets another goal in for the Blues to stop the celebration in Chi-Town. But the fights come out, fellow timeout lovers. Oh man, was this intense. As Corey Crawford, the puck stops here, started it as he tripped one of the other St. Louis Blues, and it just started going off, and fight after fight. Jonathan Toews, Andrew Shaw, Patrick Kane got in there. Everybody got in there. It was insane. They had so many people in the penalty box. It was nuts. And after all of that battle, after they got that whole fight out of them, the third period, Jaden Schwartz gets a power play and gets a goal in for the Blues. And Alexander Steen mirrors it with a goal in for the Blues. And now, with a tired and exhausted Hawks team, Duncan Keith gets the last goal in for Chicago, but with no more time left, the Blues beat my Hawks 4-3. Unfortunately. The studs on the ice was Tarasico of the Blues, right wing, who got not one but 2 goals and 1 assist. And can't forget about the guard for the Blues. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Elliott of the Blues guard saved 39 shots my Blackhawks attempted last night. And finally, gotta give credit to one Hawk player, Keith from the Hawks, defended and got not 1 but 2 goals. On to the final NHL playoff game yesterday on Takeover Tuesday. In Game 3, we had the Ducks versus the Predators. In the first period, the Ducks was no quacking around as Jamie McKinn gets a goal in for the Ducks. In the second period, the Ducks fly in a V formation and start dominating some hockey as Richard Raquel and Chris Stewart finish off the night with goals in for the Ducks with a shutout victory of 3-0. The studs on the ice was Anderson of the Ducks guard, who saved 27 shots, and Stewart of the Ducks right wing, who got 1 goal and 1 assist. On to... oh, can he do it? Yes, he can for the 3! NBA playoffs, the playoffs. We had some exciting games that went down yesterday on Takedown Tuesday, such as we had Game 2 of the Eastern Conference as the Hawks versus the Celtics. And wow, fellow timeout lovers, what a circus of problems Boston is having right now. As the Celtics were in the first quarter, fellow timeout lovers, was recorded the worst points the Celtics have ever put up, with only 7 points to the Hawks' 24 points. And it didn't get any better for them Celtics, as they just kept turning greener and greener in their stomach and on their faces, as the Hawks soared over them and picked and clawed the Celtics with a final win at home in ATL, 89-72. I go hard in the paint. The hard in the paint Celtics players, we had Isaiah Thomas with 16 points and Johnson with 8 rebounds. On the ATL Hawks side, hard in the paint, we had Bazemore with 9 rebounds and Teague with 6 assists. The Hawks now lead Boston 2-0. And also for the NBA playoffs, we have the Spurs versus the Grizzlies, as the Spurs, fellow timeout lovers, came out ready to ball. And that's exactly what they did, as they destroyed the Grizzlies with a dominating 94-68 victory. The boys that went hard in the paint, in Memphis, we had Allen with 12 points and Randolph with 12 rebounds and 3 assists. On the Spurs side, hard in the paint, we had Patty making threes, Mills with 16 points, Tim the Commander Duncan with 9 rebounds, 2 tied, and 4 assists. The Spurs now lead the Grizzlies 2-0. Well, extra, read all about it. Hot off the presses. Okay, fellow timeout lovers, this just in. The man of the MMA fighting, the Irish sensation, Conor McGregor, has announced on Twitter that he's considering retiring at the extremely young age of 27 years old. As he tweeted, and I quote, "I have decided to retire young. Thanks for the cheese. Catch yas later." Conor, whether he decided to retire or not, the UFC has announced, though, that Conor will not be fighting in the UFC 200 on July 9th. With Conor and the UFC not really seeing eye to eye and kind of having their gloves up on both sides, who knows what will really happen to the Irish god that is Conor McGregor. But mark my words, with him may or may not be leaving UFC, he is definitely not going to leave the sport of MMA fighting. Hey man, what's up? Hey, what you watching? Oh man, fellow timeout lovers, wow, do we have some insane, out of this world games that are going on Wild Wednesday, such as with the NBA the playoffs for the three. At 7 o'clock p.m. tonight, can the Miami Heat keep the temperature scoring as they go head-on against the Charlotte Hornets? Or will the Hornets, sting and injure the Heat? Tune in on NBA TV at 7 o'clock p.m. tonight to see what goes down. Also, can the Cavs charge and dominate the Pistons and get a win and make Cleveland rock? Or will Reggie Jackson and the Pistons come back, firing back? Tune in on TNT at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight to see what goes down. And finally, for you night owls, at 10:30 on TNT, can the Clippers snap, cut up and break apart the Trailblazers? Or will Damian Lillard and his Trailblazers see the path to victory? Tune in to see what happens. In the NHL, oh my goodness, look at that shot! NHL Playoffs on NBC Sports Network at 7 o'clock p.m. Can the Capitals put their mark on the Philly Flyers? Or will the Philly Flyers soar into victory lane? Tune in to see this nail-biter of a game. Also tonight, we have the Florida Panthers versus the New York Islanders. Can the Islanders make the Cats drown in Brooklyn? Or will the Cats come clawing and scratching back to get a victory tonight in New York City? Tune in at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight to see what goes down on USA Network. Also, at 9:30 tonight on NBCSN Network, can the Dallas Stars come home with a gold star? Or will the Wild crush their dreams? Tune in to this head-on, all-out battle. And finally, for you night owls, at 10:30 you have the Battle of Cali. Can the Sharks swarm and have a feeding frenzy in San Jose? Or will the Kings make their stand and get a victory on the road? Tune in to see what happens on the ice. Man, talk about some out-of-this-world nail-biter NBA and NHL playoffs that are going down tonight on Wild Wednesday. Well, that's my show, fellow Timeout lovers and sports lovers. Thanks for watching. If you really like what I'm talking about, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Or if you really feel me, then why haven't you subscribed yet? Or you can always leave me a comment below the video here, of course. And don't forget to hit me up on social media, on Facebook at Charles Cowan Timeout, as well as I'm very active on Twitter at TimeoutNow87. Until next time, Timeout! Let's talk about some sports. Have an awesome Sportstastic Wild Wednesday. And let's go Miami Heat! And don't forget about the Florida Panthers!